All right, good morning.
Good morning.
Good, nice to see you again. Today we're going to do lesson 10, and lesson 10 is about work, pensions, and healthcare in Japan. And we'll start. The first question is what is tanshin funin? And as in last week, there was a different question, but the same answer basically. Why do employees leave their families behind when they are transferred? Okay, so what is your answer for this? What is tanshin funin?
Okay. Tanshin funin is a common practice in Japan. This refers to the situation that company employees or government officers are transferred to another city or country, leaving their family behind. The main reason is that they'd like to continue the same education for the kids.
Mm-hmm. The reason they leave their families behind, maybe you want to add that. The reason?
The reason for leaving their family behind is to continue the same education for kids.
Okay.
There are other reasons such as keeping their houses, or taking care of their parents,
Okay.
etc.
Mm-hmm.
But the main reason is maybe education.
Education. Okay, good. All right. I'll have you answer that, then I'll read my answer, how I made a few changes. Okay, good. What is tanshin funin?
Tanshin funin is the practice of workers leaving family behind when they are assigned to work in different city or overseas. The practice is very common in Japan because it's sometimes quite hard for the poor family to move to a new city because the family may have the problem to own house, or the spouse may have a job. And I think to relocate the entire family is not always the best solution because it may take a very long time for children to get to our new environment, to our new school.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Some people have no choice but to transfer away from their families.
Okay, good. All right, couple of the whole family, is that?
For family or
Yeah, can you?
entire family.
Entire
Right.
family, yeah, okay. The whole, like, is like full family or something I heard. So
Entire
it's a
family.
the entire family is maybe easier to catch with my ear. Right, okay. But the pronunciation is whole family. Whole family.
Whole
Like,
family.
yeah, like a
Oh,
space in the ground is a hole. The pronunciation of W-H-O-L-E is the same exact pronunciation. Hole in the ground. Not whole, no. Whole.
whole.
So wholesale.
Wholesale, yes.
Okay.
All right, because Japanese have a tendency to, when they see WH, they want to go huwato, huwaito, right? And whole or something, but it's the same. This word is the same pronunciation as H-O-L-E, and most of those words are the W sound, just what, where, white, not howaito. Katakana I think is howaito or something, right? So that's why the pronunciation is not good. But yes, if you change the word to make it very clear, entire family, then there's no problem, right? And part of the guide test is saying words correctly, right? Rather than trying to practice and still say something incorrect. It sounds nicer if you maybe change the word and just say something easier for the interviewer to understand. Okay, even though the pronunciation, you can try whole just like that. Another thing, what was the part about own house? You said, the grammar was a little funny, I think.
The family may have the problem to, may have the problem of, owner of their house.
Yeah, okay, so that maybe the family may have the problem of owning a house.
Oh, owning the house.
Yeah, now they have a problem of owning their own house. You have-
Okay.
I'm laughing because you have owning their own house. You have owning and own in the same sentence,
But
right?
the problem of owning the house.
All right, owning their own house is maybe
Owning
even
their
more
own,
clear.
okay.
But you have the word owning and own in the same sentence, but it actually works better to make it clear. They may have the problem of owning their own house. Or they may have a problem of owning a house.
Owning a house.
So two ways to say that. Okay, good. For my answer, I didn't change this one too much. A few things I did. If you listen, tanshin funin, a common practice in Japan, refers to when employees are transferred to other cities or countries while leaving their families behind. The main reasons for a family staying behind are concern for children's education, home ownership, care for elderly parents, and a spouse's job. My technique is to make everything plural because then you don't have his family and her family behind, things like this. Also, the main reason for a family staying behind are concern for children's education, home ownership, care for elderly parents, and a spouse's job. So rather than a husband's job or wife's job or something like that. Okay? The other thing is they have here refers to the situation where a company employee is transferred. Again, this is using singular, but the situation where company employees are transferred is okay. But a situation where, I just put when.
When?
Yeah, I think she used when, which cut it out. It makes it shorter. So it refers to when employees are transferred to another city or country.
This refers to the situation when, no?
No, refers,
You don't have
we don't even have to say situation. This tanshin funin, a common practice in Japan, is when. Yeah, you could even just say is when employees are transferred to another city or other cities. It refers to or is when. Actually, I just said it naturally myself. It just comes out of my mouth. Is when. It sounds actually more natural, which is easier. Tanshin funin is when. You don't even, common practice in Japan. Take it out. So again, tanshin funin is when company. Tanshin funin is when employees are transferred to other cities and towns. Very simple. Cities, towns, or countries. Okay? While leaving their families behind. Yeah, so all of this, many times you can make it a little shorter. Okay? Okay, again, we had this last week in the same form. I would use this, again, I would not make two different answers. One for why do people leave their families behind when they are transferred, and what is tanshin funin? Just make one answer to fit both. Again, this answer this time doesn't say, even though the families are separated during the week, the good transportation system in Japan allows them to, see each other often. So that was last week's answer, part of it, and you could add that to this one. The same thing. So make the same answer for both of these questions. I think that would be just easier. All right, the next one talks about what is bonus. All right, and this time I'll go first and show you what I have done. Now, I've made lots of little notes here. I hope I can read this smoothly because, I've changed many things. But let's see. I would say, what is bonus? A bonus originally means extra amount of pay given for good performance by an employee or company. In Japan, bonuses have become an indispensable part of the Japanese pay system. Instead of raising monthly salaries, companies keep back a percentage of the employee's annual wages and pay the bonus out in lump sums, usually twice a year in June and December. Okay, that was my answer. Reading. So what is a bonus? Bonuses are an indispensable part of the Japanese pay system. But, somebody might, what is a bonus? Well, traditionally bonuses were extra pay for good performance by either the company or an employee. So if the company made lots of money, employees got bonus. If the employee did good performance, the employee got bonus. That's the real, traditional meaning of bonus. However, in Japan nowadays, this word bonus has become actually a very integral part, a very important part, a real part of employees' annual salaries.
Could you repeat the first sentence?
Sure. A bonus originally means extra amount of pay, or you could, an extra. Let's see. A bonus originally means an extra amount of pay given for good performance by either an employee or company. And then I put bonuses in Japan have become an indispensable part of the Japanese pay system. So bonuses have become an important part of the Japanese pay system. This word indispensable you can change to other words such as become an important part, essential part, a vital part. So there's lots of words you can change this to. If you don't like indispensable, it's fine also. Okay? All right, do you want to try? What is your answer for what is bonus?
Bonus is a kind of a compensation, and the company holds onto a percentage of the employees' annual wages and pays on lump sum, usually twice a year in June and December. And bonus paid could also result from a company's overall financial success. And they are sometimes paid small bonuses if the company itself does not make much profit. And bonus is used to pay off their housing loans and for education fees.
Okay, that's fine, good. This word they, let's make it clear.
Okay.
Because they could be companies or they could be employees. So when you have they are paid, what did you say? Could you go? You have a few places where you say they.
Oh, bonus pay could also result from a company's overall financial success.
Right.
They are sometimes paid small bonus.
Okay, they. So employees are sometimes paid small bonuses.
Employees are sometimes paid small bonuses if the company itself does not make much profit.
Okay, yeah. And then you have they use or they spend, or what did you, they pay?
I said bonus is used to pay off their housing loans and their
Okay, well,
for
yeah, so
education.
they again, I would say bonuses are used to, I would make it, again, don't make it passive. People use bonuses to pay.
Oh,
Okay?
okay. People use to pay off.
People use bonuses.
People use bonuses to pay off their housing loans or for education fee.
Okay, they pay off housing loans and education and children's education fees.
Children's, not for okay. Housing loan or children's education fees.
Yeah. Yeah, pay is funny. We use bonuses to pay for housing
for housing loan.
but because we use bonuses to pay housing loan, that becomes more direct, the SVO type thing. We pay loan, kind of SVO.
Okay.
So even the for is not needed. We pay for our loan, but I would make it just totally direct. We, subject, verb, subject, subject, verb, object. So people pay loans with their bonuses.
People use bonus to pay their housing loan or children's education fee.
Yes.
Fees.
Yeah,
Fees.
probably loans and fees. Okay, good. That's fine. So again, when you fix the answer, make it, what you want to say, then just practice that. Then you have a really good answer, and you don't have to change, right? Okay, good. What's your answer for what is bonus?
A bonus was originally extra amount of pay according to the performance. But now
Maybe pay given according to.
pay given
It would sound better.
according to their performance. But now it's almost vital to their employees. The amount depends on the company's or government's financial condition. So when the financial state condition is weak, the employers are not willing to pay much a bonus for the employees. So the negotiations are held twice a year, and that one might be very tough when the financial state is weak. The bonus amount is on average 4 to 5 months, 4 to 5 times the monthly wage, the regular monthly wage.
Okay, right. So that, yeah, what you said, the bonus is normally 4 to 5 times the monthly wage.
4
Yeah.
to times.
Yeah, what you said is fine. Well, the
Yes,
bonus
yeah,
is
I
usually
said,
4.
to times the wage
Four-
of the regular wage.
Right, and what you actually started to say sounded fine also. The bonus is usually about 4 to
About.
5.
Uh-huh.
What
About.
did you, but the bonus is usually about 4 to 5 months' salary.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so that works out fine too. I know you started, what you said and you're comfortable with is fine. I just said when you started, the bonus is usually about 4 to 5 months' salary.
Month salary.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that's fine, good. The negotiations, let's put negotiations between labor unions and
Oh,
companies.
yes, yes.
So we don't know who's negotiating in your answer. I know because we know the system, but negotiations between companies and their labor unions.
Labor unions.
Yeah, companies and their labor unions.
Okay.
Because it's not industry unions, it's the company unions in Japan. So negotiations between the companies and their labor unions.
Companies.
Yeah, make these kinds of answers work better plural. In normal native English, we would speak in plural, making employees and companies and bonuses, things like this, loans, right, fees. Okay. All right, good. I think that works fine. Okay, any more questions about bonus? Okay, I think this is good. Let's go on to question number 3. I did not change the answer, except I added something. So I will read number 3 question. What is the population of Japan? Is it increasing or decreasing? As of March 2009, Japan had a total population of 127.70 million people. Japan's population peaked in 2004 at 127.94 million, and it has been decreasing ever since. The most recent census shows a drop of over 180,000 people for 1 year between 2008 and 2009, the biggest drop on record. Okay. Recently they were saying mostly the drop has been about 27,000, 30,000, not too much, but the drop, if I remember, should be 2008, 2009, because 2009, 2010, I don't think is out, or maybe it is. But around that, the most recent drop is about over 180,000, which is, I think it was 183, 189,000, which is quite a lot. I read the newspaper article, now I can't find it again to check. I should have wrote it down. But anyway, yeah, the government was very alarmed that was a huge drop compared to the 30,000, 15,000 usually every year. Okay, and that's my answer. Okay? And I have some extra questions about this and also related to number 4 also. But first of all then, what is the population of Japan? Is it increasing or decreasing?
As of 2009, the population is about 128 million. The number is decreasing slightly and steadily. It is because Japan's birth rate is about 1.2 per women, and
1.2 children.
1.2 children per women. In addition to that, many young people are not worried about not being married,
Not getting married.
not getting married. Did I say go?
I think you said being married.
Oh, okay, getting married. So, and even after they get married, they don't have so many kids, babies, as before. That's why because of that, I think this tendency will continue.
Okay, good. So you added a few things. That was part of my extra question is why is the population decreasing? So one of the you gave a reason is people are getting married later
And not so many children.
and not having so many
Not having
children.
so many
So the
children.
question is, why aren't people having so many having more? Why aren't people having more children?
It's clear it's not because of their budgetary reason. I don't know. It's not because they are poor.
Okay.
So there are many other reasons. For example, they would like to live comfortable with only 1 or 2 kids, so they don't have to take care of 5 kids or 6 kids. So it's for themselves.
Okay.
And other things, maybe the education fee for kids is going up and up. So that might be another reason.
Right. Okay. Right. I think actually, though, I think you said it's not because they're poor, but actually, I think money is a very big issue, isn't it? People don't have a lot of children because the education costs so much. So I think that also, actually, money is a factor. People cannot.
Money is a factor.
Yeah, I think it is because people cannot afford to have many children because education fee costs a lot. You know, just to raise children, you need to buy clothes for children. Children eat a lot. They play games. They do other things besides even study. They play sports. So raising children is expensive. And it's difficult to have a family of 5 children living in 2 LDK apartment or
Yes.
mansion,
Yeah.
right? In not mansion, but a condominium. Japanese.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, it's very crowded. So people really limit to 1 or maybe 2 children because they don't have space, and to buy a bigger house or bigger condominium costs a lot of money.
Okay.
So I think that. But your other reasons are social reasons also. People want to have free time. They want to enjoy maybe more quality time with fewer children, right? Because by having less children, they can spend more time with
Yes.
them.
Yeah.
They can give them proper education, give them good clothes, take nice vacations. So, you know, again, money is involved, but also social issues too. If you have 5 or 6 kids, you cannot spend so much time with each child. And so that's some of the reasons. So good. The basic question, if they ask you, you know, what is the population of Japan? Is it increasing or decreasing? Then yeah, it's decreasing.
Yes.
If they ask you why is it decreasing, you know, then you have some reasons why. And again, I've asked students, why is it decreasing? Oh, women aren't having fewer babies. All right, that's true. But why are they not having fewer babies? So you have to go down, down, down to ask to get to
Yeah.
the real answer. And they're having fewer babies.
Education fee.
Right,
or
because education fees,
comfortable
housing fees
life,
cost
yeah.
a lot,
Yeah.
clothing, raising children, etc. Okay? So it's not just because we're having less babies, there's reasons for that. And of course, it's not just the ladies, but the families decide to have less children. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Now, I'll ask her the same question, the base question. What is the population of Japan? Is it increasing or decreasing?
Question number 3 and 4, my answer is that exactly the same.
Okay, that's a good thing. Good technique is to combine answers. So what is the I'll just make you practice twice. Okay. What is the population of Japan? Is it increasing or decreasing?
As of March 2009, Japan had a total population of 127.70 million people. Japan's population peaked in 2004 at 127.94 million, and it has been decreasing ever since.
Okay. Is this decreasing trend good or bad?
I think it has two phases on this matter. I think in recently, women's the women's role has been changed in Japan. In traditional Japanese concepts, women had to take care of the children and their husband after their marriage. But nowadays, women have more opportunities for a higher education, and they have the opportunity to work in labor force.
Mm-hmm.
So women, sometimes women make it quite difficult to raise up children.
Raise children.
Raise children. While pursuing a career. And they have a lot of problems. For example, it costs a lot to raise the children, and educational fees are very high.
Okay, but the question, start again. Yeah, it's kind of it's going to be a little different answer, I think. Is this good or bad? And you said there are two facets or two faces or two sides to this, and it's true. I have answers for two sides, but go ahead, I'll let you try. What do you think? Is this a good trend or bad trend?
Bad trend.
Okay, why?
Because if the population is decreasing, the society is going to be aged or
aging society.
Aging society.
Okay.
And it is.
Okay. Do you want to try? You have some ideas? Why is it good or bad? Is the decreasing population good or bad?
It's bad, very bad.
Okay.
Because in order to activate our economy, we need a certain amount of workforce, which is decreasing now, so it's no good. And another aspect is that the young people support or financing the insurance and pension fund for elderly people. So if young people decrease, the elderly people cannot get the certain amount of pension or health insurance from these young people.
Right. Or right, that's true. Or the young people have to pay more and more and more taxes to keep the same level of pension.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Good. Yeah, so, there's the basic thing is there's good and bad. Okay, the bad is the economic aspect.
Yes.
That you need to have a little growing economy, or at least keep the same so nothing changes much. But when it goes down, you have less people working to support the pension system, you have less people working to pay taxes. And then there also are problems with like less schools and things like this that, there's a lot of things involved.
Yes.
Okay. The other aspect though is, you think of the social aspects. Now living in a crowded city like Tokyo, having fewer people might be nice.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just a social issue. Yes, living in a crowded environment and less people, it makes it more pleasant. Also, having a smaller family can be maybe a tighter unit. And for social problems, because children don't get attention from their parents, maybe with a less, smaller family, people can give more attention to their children. So there's good and bad, but basically people think of the economic sense, and it really, in the long term, it probably is not a good thing. At least it should stay at the same level. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Number 4, just what is the average number of people per household? Okay, I'll let you answer first. Okay. Well, mine is just, the average number of people per household in Japan is 2.46 as of 2007. So I didn't change anything. It's a simple answer.
The average number of household.
The average number
people
per household. Okay,
is 2.46 as of 2007. Before and just after the Second World War, in most cases, 3 generations lived together. But now, people, especially young people, prefer living only with children and apart from their parents, which is not so good to me, but it's a reality. However, yeah, that's all.
Okay, all right, so that's fine. Yeah, there are reasons. Okay, now you're going to give the same answer. Okay, let's see. What is the average number of people per household?
The average number of people per household in Japan is 2.46 as of 2007.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I thought you were going to give the same answer for number 3 and 4, but you're giving the same answer as the model. I was like, how is she going to... I thought you were talking about then the population of Japan has been decreasing. I thought you were combining the answers, but you're just using this answer. Right, that's fine. Okay. Now, yes, so I think the point he brought up, so they could ask you, why is this, number so low?
Because a few decades ago, in Japan, there were many families with 3 generations living together. But recently, young people prefer living containing our nuclear family. Keep family in excuse me. How can I say? How can I explain? Keep the family in. Nuclear family is increasing. Yeah, what do we do? Yeah, just simple. Yeah, then nowadays the number of nuclear families is increasing. Okay. Nowadays, the number of a nuclear family is increasing. Families. Number. Nowadays, the number of nuclear families is increasing. So that's why the average number of people per household is decreasing. Okay, that's fine. There's also any other reasons? People in young generation get married later in life. Okay, so they what? So they have the number of children are decreasing. Okay, yeah, that's true. I should have laughed. What I'm thinking is, people nowadays, younger people get married later, but many people live single.
by themselves. So therefore, a person living by themselves is one person per household. So nowadays it's common for people maybe getting older, in their 30s, they move away from their families, live separately, but they're counted as one person. So there's a lot of single people who live by themselves. There's also, it's not a good situation, but there's more people getting divorced. So with more divorces, people end up getting married and then saying bye-bye, separating. And so many people also, divorced people also will live singly. Widows live singly. If somebody dies, the husband or the wife dies, and they end up maybe living singly because their children live singly. So there are many reasons that, why there are fewer people per family. And I think it basically comes down to what? The decreasing population and also the growing number of nuclear families, where few people live in a house with 3 generations nowadays. Okay, so those are my reasons why. Okay, now let's go to question 5. Is everybody okay with 3 and 4? They're kind of tied. The base answer is very simple, but the related questions and the reasons are deeper. Number 5 says, what portion of the workforce is female? And I've answered the question directly. So the first thing I say is I give the answer, how much? Because the model answer talks about the workforce, and then, the second line it says 40% were women. I say it at the beginning. So, what proportion of the workforce is female? Now about 40% of the workforce is female. In 2007, the total number of working people was over 64 million, and of that number, over 25 million, or 40%, were women. Many women work in service-type jobs in many industries, such as retail sales, financial institutions, and insurance companies. And they comprise 2/3 of the service industry employees. Okay, don't make me repeat that, because I've made so many changes. Look, where do I go? Go here, go here. So that's what I have done. Okay, so at least 40% are female, and then of the population, over 25 million, then 40%. Okay, and then women work in many women work in service type jobs in many industries, such as retail sales and financial institutions and insurance companies. Okay. And then women account for 2/3 of the service industries. Okay. Just a little background explanation. When you say service industries, it's hard to say what is. Service industries are, well, maybe let's say they're horizontal. But you have a lot of industries. You have the travel industry, you have the food and beverage industry like restaurants, you have the hospitality industry like hotels, you have insurance industry or financial industry, banks. So a lot of those are all, at a certain part, have services. And so that's why a lot of the women account for service industries. So there isn't what is just service, but insurance and banks have services. Hospitality, hotels have a service. Travel business is a service. Retail sales is service if they work as a store salesperson. So a lot of jobs, a lot of industries have a lot of service aspects. So there isn't anything just called service industry. It's a service type industries or something like that. Or actually it's service type jobs in many industries. Do you see how that works? Okay, because the industries, there's travel, hospitality, food and beverage, retail sales, apparel. Those things all have some service jobs, and many women do those. So what is your answer then? What proportion of the workforce is female?
The proportion of female in the workforce accounted for 42%, and only 12% of working women works in managing position. And the proportion of women in, excuse me, my answer.
You want to start it? Okay.
Yeah. In the service industries, women comprise 2/3 of the employees, beside the proportion of women in financial and insurance industries are high.
Okay, good. I want to hear that again. So start again. So what proportion of the workforce is female?
The proportion of a female in the workforce.
Okay, that's a proportion of females. Make it plural. Okay.
The proportion of females in the workforce accounted for 42%.
Okay.
And only 12% of working women works in managing positions.
Okay, works in management positions.
Management position.
Okay.
Management position.
Okay, positions.
Positions. In the service industries, women comprise 2/3 of the employees.
Okay.
Besides, the proportion of women in financial and insurance industries are high.
The percentage is high, is it? What proportion? What did you say in?
Oh, the proportion.
I would say besides rather than besides. Also.
Also, also, the proportion of women in financial and insurance industries are high. Oh, more than 50% of female workers are employed as part-time.
Okay, as part-timers.
As part-timers.
Or as part-time workers.
Oh, as part-time workers.
Okay, so as part-timers or as part-time workers. Right. I would say, so rather than you had the sentence, you had besides, I said also, a high proportion of women work in financial and insurance companies.
Oh, companies.
I would say rather than in the industries. You could say work in the financial industry, but I would just say work in insurance and financial companies. Okay?
Okay. The high proportion of women are working in financial and insurance companies.
But actually, insurance is part of financial industry, actually. So maybe work in financial, but in insurance companies and finance is also securities like stocks, shoken kaisha, and then they have insurance companies and banks. All of those are finance. That's all the financial industry.
Okay.
What I know as the financial industry, it's securities companies, banks, and insurance companies. So you could just say a high proportion of females also work in the financial industry.
Okay, financial industry.
But put the, T-H-E, put the, work in the financial industry.
Work in the financial industry.
Then you could be nice and say, if you want, such as banks, insurance companies, and securities companies. Okay? Good. All right, let's go to him and see what he has to say. What proportion of the workforce is female?
It is around 25 million, which is about 40% of the total workforce. And women mostly, most women work in the service type jobs.
Okay, good, yeah.
Such as wholesale, retail sales, and financial companies such as bank, securities, and what's that?
Insurance?
Insurance.
Right, okay.
And in the service jobs, 2/3 of total workforce is women now.
Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine. That sounds good. Okay, good. All right, let's go on to the next question, which is number 6. And the answer here is basically okay. It's just not conversational English. It's textbook English. So the textbook English is upon marriage. For example, the end of the first line has upon, and the big first word of the second line is marriage. It's actually easy to say, short, and it's fine. It's just nobody would say this. You read it with your eyes. Do you see where the answer is? The model answer for number 6 is the last word of the first line is upon. Upon marriage. So that is not conversational. So what would I say? When they got married.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my answer is going to be this. I'll read the question first. So do many women quit work? No. You have to think if they quit work or do they continue to work. And my question, let me go to the base question. That's another thing I have to mention, is about quitting or the continuing. So you have to answer differently. Do many women work after they married? Before, women were expected to quit their jobs when they got married. However, these days, the number of women continuing to work after getting married has increased. In fact, of the more than 25 million women in the workforce, about 63% were married. Okay. You can also, just as you see, my answer is when they got married. Why do I say when they got married? Because at the point they got married, they quit. So after they got married is what it is also work. So before, women were expected to quit their jobs after they got married. Is also okay. The word after.
After, okay.
Is okay. But I like the word when because it's like that at that point. もう結婚した時 rather than 結婚した後 kind of 結婚 because when did they quit after? 1 year, 2 years? It can have that nuance. They quit after they got married. So 少しずつ they work a few years and then they quit. That is also possible. People do. They don't quit immediately. Some work a little while, a year, then they quit. But the idea was when they got married, they quit. Okay. They also have here having children. What about getting married? So I just said the continuing after they get married has increased. Right? Okay. What I'm saying is they don't mention women getting married and having children. They just say women continue to work after having children. So, did they get married or didn't they get married? I'm being funny, but technically, people normally in normal society and in very good society, people get married and have children. They don't just have children without getting married.
Yes.
In most societies, that's no good. So why they have here having children, but without mentioning, many women. However, these days, the number of women continuing to work after getting married has increased.
Okay.
Right. All right. So what is your answer? What do many women work after they marry?
Yes, they do. No. Just a moment, please. Do many women
Work?
after? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, they do. It is said that the women are supposed to quit their jobs after they got married. However, recently regulations and social atmosphere are pushing them to continue to work even after they get married. And
That's fine.
In
Okay.
fact,
Okay.
women of 25 million are working, and 60% of them are married.
Okay. So in fact, what did you say?
Women of 25 million.
Okay, 25 million women.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it's women over 25 million is incorrect?
Yeah, it doesn't sound good. Women of 25 million, no.
Oh,
25 million women.
Women. Okay.
Can you read that again, just to make sure?
Okay. It is from the beginning.
All right, why don't you try it again, practice, yeah.
Okay. It is said that the women are supposed to quit their job after they get married. However, recently regulations and social atmosphere are helping and pushing women to keep working even after they get married and even having had babies. In fact, women, 25 million women are working and 60% of them are married.
Okay, good. Yeah, I should have changed something. That social, what did you say? Atmosphere. I would put the changing social attitude.
Oh, changing social attitude.
Yeah. Okay, and then did you, it works really well. I just wanted to make sure the grammar you're saying is correct. It should, even after having babies.
Having babies.
Even after having babies.
Okay.
I think you had a word missing in that.
Yeah, I said even after having had babies. Having had babies.
Oh, okay. All right. Then that wasn't clear. That's what I wanted to make sure what you said. So even after having had babies, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. I just wasn't clear what I was hearing, so I wanted to make sure. Okay. Good. What do you think about the question? I didn't ask you yet, right? Now I'm going to be mean. Now listen to my question. Do many women quit work after they marry?
It depends on the women.
Okay.
I know women used to be expected to leave their workplace when they got married. However, these days, an increasing number of companies are adopting our maternity leave system, and the number of women in employment has virtually doubled in the last 25 years. In fact, 63% of the working women are married, including regular workers and part-timers. However, due to a lack of daycare facilities, some women still have no choice but to stay home and raise and take care for children.
Take care of
children. And some of them find it difficult to return to work after taking time off to raise children.
Good. All right. Good. Right. So again, be prepared and listen to the question. Now, when you have this model answer, everybody say, do many women work after they marry? Yes. But do many women quit after they get married? Right. So yeah, no, it depends on the person. Do they quit after getting married? Well, not so many like before. So again, the question just will be the opposite, whatever you want to say. Do they quit work after married? Do they continue to work after after they get married? Okay, good. All right. What we'll do is take a break at this point, and then we'll continue on with the rest of the questions. Okay? Good. Okay, let's begin again and do question 7 this time. 7 is probably one of the more difficult questions. I've made some changes, and this is my answer. So question 7 is, what kind of pensions are provided for the Japanese? Oh, the current Japanese pension system consists of the following plans: national pension, welfare annuity, and mutual benefit annuity. National pension is mandatory for everybody aged 20 or over who is either self-employed, a housewife, a student, or an employee of companies not in the welfare annuity plan, which is a pension plan for people working at private companies. The mutual benefit annuity is for civil servants or government workers. All people aged 20 and older in Japan must join one of the above pension plans. Okay, that's my answer. I think I might have made a mistake when speaking. Or an employee of a company not in the welfare annuity. So everything should be singular there. Or an employee of a company not in the welfare annuity plan, which is a pension plan for people working at private companies. Okay, that's my answer to explain the three types. Other people, I'm not sure what your answers have done. Other people, other students have given it as a sense of there's the pension plan, the pension system in Japan is like a two-story building. On the first floor is the government portion that everybody participates in. And people who work at companies and work at the government are on the second floor. So they have their company or the government or the company plan, and they also have that included in the government plan. To me, it's harder to explain, but everybody has the base, the first floor, which is the government plan. And then employees who work at companies participate in the government plan through their employees' pension plan. And government workers participate in the government plan in addition to their own mutual benefit annuity plan. So if you look at it like three buildings. The one is just the national plan for students, housewives, unemployed, self-employed people. And then people who work at companies have a second floor that is part of the first floor of the government, but they also have their own company plan. Or the government workers have their government workers plan plus the government plan. So there's a one-story building and then two-story buildings. I don't want to confuse you, but that's how people have yeah, it's a complicated system. But anyway, that's how people have described it. Everybody's in the government plan some way or another, but the government plan is either you participate through your company or through your workplace. Okay, so anyway, you have the microphone. Tell me what kind of pensions are provided in Japan. What kind of pension systems are there in Japan?
The Japanese pension system is composed of national pension plan, welfare annuity, and mutual benefit annuity. Those who are self-employed are required to belong to the national pension program. The welfare annuity is mainly for those who are employed by private companies, business corporations.
Okay.
And when you are employed by our company, you are automatically enrolled in the welfare annuity system, and you are paying extra premiums in addition to the national pension premiums.
Okay.
And therefore, those paying their welfare annuity will receive more pension payments in the future. And the mutual benefit annuity is designed for national public servants and local public servants. All people aged 20 or older in Japan must join in one of those pension plans.
Good. All right, that sounds fine. Good. It's hard, but that sounds fine. I think it works.
It's a little bit long.
Well, I think this is not going to be short.
Okay.
The only thing I would do, so rather than you have local government or whatever kind of government, what did you say? You said municipal government or local government. What is that? In your answer, you had something about the national, the mutual benefit annuity is for
public servants, and local servants.
Yeah, see, I would just put government workers or local.
Government workers.
Yeah, anyone who's civil servant works for the government. So just, you don't have to be so specific. Local governments, municipalities, just government workers. And actually that includes school teachers, public school teachers. Okay, so, just simple, government workers. Yeah. Okay, that was fine, very good. All right, let's see what his answer is. What kind of pensions are there provided for the Japanese? Or what kinds of pension systems are there?
Okay. There are three kinds of pensions, such as national pension, welfare annuity, and mutual benefit annuity. Welfare annuity is for private companies' employees, while the mutual benefit annuity is for government workers. The national pension is for everybody aged 20 and over, such as students, housewives, unemployed persons, foreigners, etc. That's all.
Okay, good. Being a foreigner, I take out foreigners. Why? Because if foreigners are working at regular companies, they are part of the welfare annuity program. So foreigners don't pay the national pension if they are working at real companies. Yeah, it's not just, the gaijin are treated separately. No, if you work for a company, I used to be, we enrolled in the national, not the national, I can't think, and welfare annuity program. So, so that's why these answers I've taken out foreigners, because if foreigners are not employed at a company, then like every Japanese person 20 or over, they have to pay into the national pension. But if they are working at a real company and maybe hired locally, I don't know if they're hired from transferred overseas, but they work and pay just like the Japanese if they're hired locally. I don't know about people who are sent over and transferred for a few years. Okay, so that's why there's another answer here about foreigners have to, the health program too. So there's no distinction in a company if you're hired locally between foreigner and non-Japanese under normal situations. Okay, good. Okay, next we have number 8. It says, any questions about this pension plan? No.
No.
Okay, let's go on. Number 8 this is also very complicated, and I have tried to make it a little bit less complicated because there's so many things that are, hard to say all at once. But number 8 question is, how much can one receive as pension money? And also in America, we would probably say, how much do you receive in pension? How much do you receive as a pension? As a pension. So there's different ways to talk about this money. So my answer is, if you have participated in the national pension plan for more than 25 years, you will get a government pension. For example, if you paid 40 years into the system, you will get about 70,000 yen a month as your basic government pension. The welfare annuity plan, people enrolled in the welfare annuity plan will get varying amounts or different amounts depending on the number of years they worked. For example, a male with more than 40 years in the system will get about 240,000 yen a month. The mutual benefit annuity, which is for government workers, this plan pays 10 to 20% more than the monthly amount provided by the welfare annuity plan. Okay? Now, my understanding was that the national pension plan, if you participate in the national pension plan for more than 25 years, you will receive about 70,000 yen. Somebody has informed me, I don't know if this is true, somebody has informed me that if you work for 40 years and if you pay 40 years to the national pension plan, you will get 70,000. If for some reason you only pay 25 years, you will not get that amount. It will be less.
Yeah. That's why I omitted this, the first two lines.
Okay, and you omitted it, right? But the trouble is, how much can you receive as pension money? They want how much money can you receive. So, that's why I kind of said if you pay 40 years into the national pension plan, you will get about 70,000 yen per month. Okay.
But to me, it's too small. Around 70,000 yen.
But that's, well, I don't.
I'm not sure about it.
I think well, I'm not sure. I think the minimum, if you work and only pay the minimum of, say, 25 years, if you've only paid the minimum of 25 years, I think you get maybe about 60,000. It's not a huge gap like, 20,000, 30. I think you get about 60. I'm not 100% sure, but you get about maybe 50, 60,000 something.
Okay.
But it varies. If you don't pay 40 years, you don't get this amount. Anyway, is that, let me try and listen to what your answer is then. How much can one receive as pension money?
Okay, it depends on the kind of pension. If you have participated in the national pension plan for more than you said 40 years, you will receive around 70,000 yen per month. And if you have participated in the welfare annuity for more than 40 years, you will get around 240,000 yen on average. The amount of pension depends on the amount of pension money depends largely on how long you paid rather than how much you paid.
Good. All right. Yes, that's true. Okay. Yeah. So it might vary depending on how much money you made, but not so greatly, right? So how long you paid is the big factor. And
Very big factor.
Another factor I heard also is this, for example, if the people paying into the welfare annuity plan for 40 years, it says you get 240,000 yen per month.
Yes.
Right? But that is including part of the maybe 70,000 government plan.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right. So it's not you get the government plan plus the 240,000. This government plan is included in the amount. Other students have separated. So if you pay into the welfare annuity plan for 40 years, you will get about 40,000 or 160,000 yen per month, and also the government plan of 70,000. So it's over 200,000 yen per month.
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
The only thing in this, they have old age pension. Old age is not polite. So in the model answer, they have old age. I would just take that out. Turn that into government pension or something, depending. If it's the national pension plan, then you will get a government pension.
Okay.
Okay, don't use old age. Okay, and what is your answer?
If you have been covered under the national pension plan for more than 25 years, you will get about 70,000 yen per month as government pension starting at the age of 65. And with the welfare annuity plan, an average male or female with more than 40 years of membership will get 240,000 yen per month as government pension. The The mutual benefit annuity have different plans depending on what mutual benefit association one belongs to, such as for government workers. But the monthly amount is probably 10 to 20% more than that provided by the welfare annuity plan.
Okay, right. So, okay, so if you work for, pay the pension for more than 25 years, you get around 70,000, probably less than 70,000 because you have to pay 40 years, I heard, to get 70. So it'll be, a little, maybe just say a little under 70,000 or something like that. When you mentioned that, male or female working more than 40 years in the welfare annuity plan will get about 240,000 yen of government pension. Is that all government or is part of it company? You get it from the government, but I think part of that was paid by the company. So that's why I would just say pension. Don't even say government. It confuses everything. Yeah.
A little under 240,000 yen per month as pension.
Yeah. Maybe as a pension.
As our pension.
Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. You have a question? Yeah.
Is there any difference between annuity and pension?
Oh, geez. I think, this is on something I think. I think annuity sometimes is more paid by private companies.
Uh-huh.
And pension is something paid by the government.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if that's true. That's
Okay.
what I'm assuming.
Okay.
But what they also did many years ago is they've translated the Japanese, what is it, the Kenko,
Okay.
Kokumin, what is that? What is the, what is the national pension plan in Japanese? Kokumin Nenkin. They have translated that into national pension plan.
Pension plan.
Right. But then the other one, they have national welfare annuity plan because I think that's because it's partially private companies paying it.
Okay.
I think. So people have like annuities, for example, where I come from in America, annuity is something you set up with an insurance company.
Uh-huh.
So you set it up, pay every year. Then when you're old, you will get so much money every month from the insurance company.
Okay.
And that's private,
Yeah.
I think.
Thank you.
So,
Yeah.
okay. I forget what the welfare annuity plan is. What is that? Shakai Hoken? Kosei Nenkin. Okay. Okay. Kosei Nenkin. All right. Yeah. Kosei Nenkin. All right. So yeah, they've translated some of these a little differently. Yeah. So welfare annuity plan. In America, we would probably just call this a Social Security plan, but it doesn't work out that way because in America, Social Security is the government plan. So you can't call the Shakai Hoken or the Kosei Nenkin. The Shakai Hoken is what you call, but which is social pension. And some students have said, oh, it's the social pension. But in America, social pension is government pension. So the words don't translate. You can translate how you want, but they don't translate to the same system. That's why Shakai Hoken. No, it doesn't you have like Shakai Hoken, there's a lot of times you say, right? Kosei Nenkin, Shakai Hoken. In that people say, it's a social welfare system. But social welfare in America is government. Where in Japan, the Shakai Hoken is company system. So don't translate the same words to the same plan. They don't match. Okay, good. Let's go to question number 9. And this one is fine. The answer I have here, it's long, but I will read the answer here because I think I've made one change, and when I read it, I'll find it. Number 9 says, are Japanese medical institutions fully equipped? Okay, Japan's healthcare system is said to be one of the best in the world in terms of skills and facilities. Japan reached its goal of 1.5 doctors per 1,000 people in 1983, and so now it appears that there are enough doctors. But in fact, doctors' offices and hospitals in Japan are almost always crowded, and the long waits make people feel that there are certainly not enough doctors. As for facilities, Japan has the second most hospital beds in the world after Switzerland. Okay, the only thing I would say is in line number 2, there's the sentence where it starts, Japan reached its goal of 1.5 doctors per 1,000 people in 1983. And so it appears that there are enough doctors according to the statistics. According to the statistics. However, there is a great imbalance between countryside and cities, and area to area, region to region, between the number of doctors and patients. There is a great imbalance between the countryside and cities in terms of the number of doctors to patients. Okay, and this is an issue that I don't think you need to go into, but there is an imbalance between some rural areas. Now, rural areas is probably the best word to say. I have trouble saying rural areas. I avoid it. So I say countryside. Or, outside the city. So there's a very big difference, imbalance between the cities and non-city areas. Something to avoid saying rural, because I think that's difficult even for me to say. Okay? All right, what is your answer for this one? Are Japanese medical institutions fully equipped?
Japan is renowned for its highly advanced medical facilities and excellent medical teams. However, the number of doctors in Japan is more compared with the numbers in other developed countries. The number of doctors per 1,000 population in Japan was 1.98 in 2002, and whereas while it was 2.56 in the United States. As for facilities, the number of hospital beds in Japan totaled 1,280 per 100,000 population in 2007, and Japan ranked second in the world after Switzerland.
Good. All right, that's fine. Good. Okay, what do you have for an answer for this? Are Japanese medical institutions fully equipped?
Yes, the Japan's medical system is said to one of the best in the world.
Okay, said to be one of the best.
It's said to be one of the best in the world in
Okay.
terms of skill and facilities. As for the number of doctors, it is about 1.5 doctors for 1,000 people, which is enough for us. But doctors who takes care of baby delivery is not enough. Actually, in very shortage. Actually,
there is a shortage.
there is a shortage. And as far as medical equipment go, the prestigious and big hospitals have the high level equipment, but in the local and the small hospitals, they have not so high level equipment. As for the number of beds, it's enough, and actually the second highest in the world, followed by next to Switzerland.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good. Yeah, that's fine. Good. Yeah, there is a shortage of doctors who deliver babies, who take care of babies, right? I think that's not only in Japan; it's also in America. And Do you know the reason why? One of the reasons?
It's maybe if the doctors fail in operation or something, they will be sued.
Yes, and having babies is a very sensitive issue. One of the most, probably the most sensitive issue of all medical, of medical issues, because it's a baby, and couples want their baby, it's a child.
Yes.
And so they're very sensitive. So that's why in America the doctors say, well, rather than be sued, I don't want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
They stop. So they go into doing something else, checking ears or eyes or doing something.
Uh-huh.
They change it and leave because they're just so dangerous. And the insurance premium to cover any maybe mistake is so high that they don't want to pay.
Oh.
Yeah. There's doctors who have, you need insurance to be a doctor in case you maybe make a mistake, unfortunately. But the insurance premium is so high because the lawsuit becomes so expensive. So doctors don't want to bother. So it's kind of a bad situation. So anyway, that's, if they ask that, why is, there's so few, or why is there a shortage of, baby doctors?
Do you have a system in Japan? In old times, we had old women who takes care of the baby delivering. But in your case, in America, you have this kind of women, old women?
Yeah, I forget there was a word. I don't even know the word anymore in English. I forget. Not wet nurse. Wet nurse is a lady who gives milk to babies in the old days. I think they call that a wet nurse, is somebody who gives milk to babies when the mother cannot. Mother has a problem with the milk, so she cannot give, and I think that's a wet nurse. But there are people in the old days who used to help deliver babies. So there was like a neighborhood obasan that did this, but I forget, there was a name for it, but I forget. But no more. Nobody wants to touch anybody's baby like that, right?
We call them josampu.
Okay.
And these josampu, the company is trying to promote to increase the number of josampu.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I don't know what they call. Is there a word? Did you? I don't know the English word for that. I know that there's deliverers or there's a word for that, but I forget in English. I've never used it. I think of, a long time ago when people lived in America in the countryside, especially countryside, in the middle of the country, and there was no doctors, working in the farm, so the lady would come and help.
According to my dictionary, it says midwife.
Okay, good. That's the word. She said, according to the dictionary, it says midwife. Thank you. That's the word I need. Midwife. I forget English.
Okay, midwife.
Yes, that reminds me. Yes, it's called midwife. Is probably the most common we would say in English. Or they say maternity nurse.
Maternity nurse?
Yeah, okay. I would say midwife. Because maternity nurse sounds like someone who's a professional and has gone to school. And midwife is just, a helping obasan kind of thing, right? So no professional, just knows about babies. So, okay. Again, they could ask you about the problem of the imbalance between doctors. The doctors tend to go into the cities. Of course, Tokyo has such a huge population. Even in Tokyo, you think there's not enough doctors. So there is an actual imbalance also, the population and doctors and outside. So there's a problem there you might want to think about. Maybe if they ask you, is there enough doctors for, do you think that really is enough doctors for people? And you say, well, it depends on the city and the area and the, Okay, let's go to number 10. Now this is very simple. What is the most common cause of death in Japan?
The most cause...
Okay, sorry. They have a difficult word here. Let me see. You know what I did? What do you have? Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Okay. All right. What is the most common cause of death in Japan? The most common cause of death in Japan is cancer, followed by heart disease, brain disease, and pneumonia.
Oh, okay.
This cerebrovascular disease is a very nice word, but I'm not a doctor, and I don't know. Most people don't know what that is.
I omitted that. Instead, I picked up cerebral. Is that?
Yeah, cerebral is the Latin, I think, for brain.
Yes.
Yeah.
Vascular means there's more.
Like tubes, yeah, the vessels. Yeah, kekkan, right? So yeah, it's like, yeah, what is it? No shinket? No. The Japanese word, if you look it up. It says,
No kekkan.
No kekkan, right? So something like that. So brain, I would just say brain disease.
Brain disease. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
It's easy.
Yeah, this is, a word, cerebral means brain, and the other one means vessels, blood vessels, and so it's very technical, medical term. What is the most common cause of death in Japan?
The most common disease, the most common cause is cancer, which is about 30% of the causes, followed by heart disease and of 12%, 16%, and brain disease of 12%.
Okay, good. Why is cancer so high?
Why is cancer?
Are there reasons, do you think of?
I think, yeah, in America, the cancer is not the top. I heard of that. So, because our average lifespan is much longer than the other countries. So, before they get other disease.
Before they get cancer.
Before they get cancer, they get other disease.
Yeah, that's true, because cancer sometimes takes many years to
Yes.
form. So people before, in the old days, many years ago, died before they had cancer.
That's right.
Right. Okay. Do you know any other reason?
Any other reason?
In the old days, maybe not so much now because of the diet, but I heard because of salty food, especially Tohoku region has salty food and pickles. I heard there's a lot of cases of stomach cancer because many years of eating salty food is not good. Although Japanese diet is considered healthy, it does have a lot of salt. So I heard that's one reason also.
Okay.
Good. And I think you said America is not cancer. I think America is heart disease.
Yes, I
Because-
heard of that. Yeah.
Yeah, heart disease, because people eat too much.
Yes.
It's just the custom to eat too much because the food is cheaper in America, so people overeat, which is not a good thing. But I think that's one of the reasons people overeat is because food is just very relatively inexpensive.
And maybe I think Japanese smoke much more than the other countries.
Oh, okay, yeah, Japanese smoke a lot, yeah. Yeah, that could be.
Including me.
Oh, you do, okay, so yeah, be careful. We're talking about diseases here, so be careful. Yeah, in America, people don't exercise either. Everybody uses a car. Where in Japan, especially in Tokyo, people still, I admire all the older people, oji-san that's still walking and taking the train and climbing the stairs and things, So that's very good. Where in America, nobody walks. So lack of exercise, overeating is disaster. Okay, good. What is the most common cause of death in Japan?
The biggest killer in Japan is cancer. That is 30% of all deaths. And it's followed by heart disease. It accounts for 50%. And
15?
15%.
Okay,
15%.
yeah. All right.
And brain disease causing 30% of fatalities. And pneumonia, and it accounts for 9% of all deaths in Japan.
Okay, good. All right. Be careful of 15.
15%.
Right. Causes 15% of all deaths.
All deaths.
Good. Okay, I will go on to then question 11, which I made many changes. Number 11 says, the question is, can anyone participate in the health insurance programs? In fact, everybody must participate in the health insurance programs. For example, government workers and company workers and their families are automatically enrolled in their labor union health plans. the employee and the employer each pay 50% of the insurance premium. Anyone not in a union health insurance plan must join the National Health Insurance Program operated by the government. Finished. Okay, so the idea is, can anyone participate in the health insurance program? Well, they can't. Anyone is not, they can, they must participate. It's by law, everyone living as a resident, foreigner or whatever, you know, if you're not a visitor, you must participate in one of the health insurance programs. Okay, and is this the one they had? Yeah, the last sentence, I just take it out. Those include employees, small companies, self-employed people, then foreigners. Foreigners, again, are enrolled through their health insurance, the labor union health insurance programs if they work at a company. So the foreigners are not treated separately from anybody else if they work in a company. So I just take out everything. The last two lines I take out. It's not necessary. And we call labor union health insurance plans. Because most of the companies and even government workers have some kind of a kumiai kenko hoken or something, right? Yeah. That's labor union health insurance plans. And if you don't belong to a company or government, if you don't belong to a company or if you don't work at the government, then you have to go to the National Health Insurance Plan. Okay. Are you okay? All right. What do you have for an answer about, can anyone participate in the health insurance programs?
Medical insurance can be divided into two broad categories.
Okay, two broad
categories.
Okay.
National Health Insurance Plan and Labor Union Health Insurance Plan.
Okay, good.
Membership of one scheme is compulsory, mandatory, compulsory.
Okay, what did you say first?
Membership of one scheme.
Okay.
Membership
in either scheme.
Either scheme is mandatory.
Yes.
Monthly premiums are calculated slightly differently for each, but are based mostly on salary. And coverage for medical costs also vary between the schemes. And national health insurance is generally reserved for self-employed people and students. The union, as for labor union health insurance programs, it is funded jointly by the members and employees and the company at the rate equal to a certain percentage of each member's annual income.
Huh?
And with this is with the member and the company each paying half of the total.
Mm-hmm.
If you receive medical care, the member pays 30% of the fee to the hospital,
Mm-hmm.
and the reminders is
The remainder.
And remainder is paid by the company.
Okay. Yeah. All right. You want to try that again? It's long, but yeah, let's try that again. All right, let's try that again. Maybe let's see what you say. Okay. Can anyone participate in the health insurance programs?
Medical insurance can be divided into two broad categories: national health insurance and labor union health insurance plan.
Okay.
Membership of either scheme is mandatory.
Okay.
Monthly premiums are calculated slightly differently for each, but are based mostly on salary.
Okay.
Coverage for medical costs also vary between the schemes. National health insurance is generally reserved for self-employed people and students. As for union health insurance, it is funded jointly by the members and the company at the rate equal to a certain percentage of each member's annual income. It is with the members and the companies each pay half of the total.
Okay. The first part is probably okay. The second part, I think you could just make short. You have a part, you say, national health insurance is did you say generated?
Generally reserved. Generally
Okay.
covered.
Yeah. Okay, once more. What did you say?
Generally covered for self-employed people and students.
Okay, so the national health insurance program is for.
Is for self-employed people and students.
Right. Okay. And then the last part, you would just say that what is it? The labor union health insurance plan is what, for company employees, and the company pays half of the premiums, and the employee pays half of the premiums. Every month you pay half, right?
Right.
So I think I would just stop there. Okay. What you're saying is very good. Like, the company, when you get sick, the employee pays 30% of the medical bill, and the company or the labor union insurance plan pays the other 70%. But maybe you don't need to say that because the answer gets long and it's okay. So I would just say that national health insurance is for students, self-employed people, people not covered by the union health insurance plans. And then the union's health insurance plan is paid 50-50 by the company and the employee. Yeah. Okay? Yeah, I would make that a little short like that. Okay. Yeah. You want to do Kaigo Hoken? You're going to give him first? Okay. Last question is, what is the long-term... Oh, you didn't do. Sorry, that's right. I was wondering why she's passing it to you. I thought she... Sorry. Can anyone participate in the health insurance programs?
Anyone must participate in the health insurance. There are two types of health insurance, such as labor union health insurance plans and national health insurance. When you join an organization such as private companies or government offices, you are automatically participate in the labor union health insurance program.
Okay.
And if in this case 50% of the premium is paid by the organization. And for the national health insurance program, the housewives, students, and unemployed persons and self-employment people.
Okay, self-employed people.
Self-employed people are participants.
Okay. Good. All right. I am confused because I am not a wife. I'm not a housewife. Do housewives pay separately even though their husband is in the labor union health insurance program?
No, only husband pay.
Right, the husbands pay for everybody, then the wife is
Correct.
included in children. So I don't know why they're saying housewives. See, this means even if you're married. Did you say housewives or no? No.
Oh, okay. I have to omit housewives.
Yeah, see, that's what I want. I wanted to make sure because I thought the families, big family, the mother, not the mother, but usually the wife, if the husband works, or it's the wife and the children are covered by his health plan.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Right, so this national insurance program is for self-employed people. They say students, but yeah, if it's a student as a dependent.
Oh, yes. So,
right?
Yeah, okay.
So this is the old students, yes, maybe. I don't know if there's an age that is a break-off age.
Mhm.
Now, sometimes I'm thinking, in America, for example, I think it's not an age break-off, but the person has to be what we consider a dependent. Fuyokazoku.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like in America, students even are considered dependents because they are not working and they're part of their parents' insurance plan.
Uh-huh.
Once they graduate and they're not dependent, then they have to take it off. But
Okay.
the students is also confusing because they're part of the parents'
Yes.
health insurance plan.
Okay.
So I would just
Unemployed people and self-employed
people.
people.
Right. Right. Yeah. So the other thing is the pension plan and stuff. What is confusing is the pension plan. I believe even housewives have to pay separately, correct? If they do
Oh,
not
yes,
work.
yes.
See, that's why they're saying housewives, because if they're non-working people.
Oh, okay.
See, that's the thing that's confusing, even on the pension, which was what, number 7? No, it's number 7, right?
Oh, okay. So unemployed people include housewives. Oh, no. No, okay. Okay. We should omit the housewives.
Well, for number 7, yeah, actually, housewife is because a housewife still has to pay separately, correct?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. What they mean is non-working people.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, a housewife is a very stereotyped person.
Mm-hmm.
She stays home and cooks and shops and washes clothes.
Mm-hmm.
If she's not working at a company job.
Mm-hmm.
But if she's working at a company job, she is paid under the welfare annuity system. But she's also a housewife because she cooks, she shops, she washes clothes. Mm-hmm. So that's what's confusing, right? So
okay.
non-working people is really I didn't even catch that myself. I put just a housewife, but no. Mm-hmm. People who are self-employed, non-working people.
Oh, okay.
So we need to clarify that. That's what gets confusing. This housewife is probably not a good example. I think it confuses.
Okay.
Okay, we have one more question to cover. I did not make very many changes to this answer number 12. I did a few things, but number 12 asks, what is the long-term care insurance kaigo hoken system? Okay, kaigo hoken or long-term care insurance provides health care services for elderly people in the same way that the national insurance system provides medical care for all citizens. This system started in April 2000. People pay premiums to the making it possible for care facilities to provide services to those in need. The program is for people who are 65 and older, and also anybody between 40 and 64 who needs care. The program is for people who are 65 and older, or anybody between 40 and 64 who also needs care, special care. Okay. Now what I did in the middle of this, the system became effective in 2000, April 2000. I just said the system started in April 2000. Then they have those being insured, the citizens pay premiums to the insurer, the government. So I just say people pay premiums to make it possible for care facilities to provide services. I don't say who's the insurer, who's the insurer, You see how they put that in this? This is probably from a textbook. Those being insured, the citizens pay premiums to the insurer, the local government. I take all of that out. People pay premiums to get the services, basically. Okay? So I'll read it again. Kaigo Hoken or long-term care insurance tries to provide healthcare services for elderly people in the same way that the national insurance system provides medical care for all citizens of all ages is actually the best way I would rephrase it. So it tries to provide healthcare service for they have tries to, it just provides. Okay, let me start this again. Kaigo Hoken or long-term insurance provides health care services for elderly people in the same way that the national insurance system provides medical care for citizens of all ages. The system started in April 2000. People pay premiums, making it possible for health care facilities to provide services to those in need. The program is mainly for people 65 and older. But anybody between 40 and 65 who needs care may also be given care. Okay, they have here, I should read probably what here. The program is mainly for people 65 and older. But anybody between 40 and 64 who needs care can also receive care. Who needs care can also receive care. Okay, what they're saying, see, the whole thing is confusing because if it was only for people 65 and older, that would be okay. But people who are 40 and 64 that have, maybe they had an accident, lost their legs, they can't see, they have, they can't move, they have some kind of disease, they can't do things, can also do it. So it's not only for old people, it's people 40 and older. If they have a special medical need, can also receive this Kaigo Hoken insurance. But they have to prove why they need it. Anyone 65 and older, just I want it, I get it, they, kind of thing, they can do it. But if you're younger than 65, then you have to have some, need. But you can do it even if you're not 65, right? That's what's confusing. So people with disabilities who are 40 to 65, 64 can also receive care. Okay, let's see what your answer is. Okay? What is the long-term Kaigo Hoken system?
Kaigo Hoken provide elderly people with healthcare services. The system started in 2000. People who want to receive the care are checked and ranked into one of the 5 classes. The system is mainly for people who are 65 and over. But anybody between 40 and 64 can be, anybody between 40 and 64 who needs care is also eligible. The premium payment starts from 40 years old.
Good. Yeah. So yeah, that's fine. Very good. That's fine. Yeah. So what I say, I don't want this to I don't want this to sound like it's only for older people, 65 or older. I shouldn't say old, but people 65 and older, because people younger can also get that if they have a special need. Okay? So what is the long-term care insurance system?
Long-term care insurance or Kaigo Hoken provide healthcare services for elderly people in the same way that the national insurance system provides medical care for citizens of all ages. This system starts from April 2000. People pay premiums and making it possible for healthcare facilities to provide services to those in need. The program is mainly for people 65 or older, but anybody between 40 and 64 if they need special care.
Right, can get. Yeah, anyone Yeah.
But anybody between 40 and 64 who
Needs care.
needs medical care can be provided.
Yes, can be
Can be
provided
provided
care.
care.
Yeah. Okay. All right. All right. The other thing is I didn't add here, but it says people pay premiums. People start to pay premiums when they reach 40, right? So people who are 40 and older pay premiums. People younger than 40 do not pay the Kaigo Hoken premium. So you could add that someplace. So people who are 40 and older pay premiums to make it possible for care facilities to provide services. Okay, is that okay? Yeah, again today we're actually a little bit over because this is very complicated, and if you say something that's not correct, everything goes kind of bad. You have to be very specific that you're covering everybody. Again, like housewives and things, students and things like that, have to be careful because it depends on the person, their situation. Okay, and do you have any questions? Anything? Because this was very complicated. All right, well, good. Thank you for coming. We finished this. Next week is a little more, well, I don't know, it's fun, but at least, difficult. They have Giri and Ninjo and things like this, but, why do you want to be a tour guide? And so things you can relax and just be, talk naturally. Okay, so thank you for coming, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you very
Okay,
much.
thank you.